Bushnell. Performance is the only thing. Federal Premium Ammunition, surgical precision, terminal results. Savage Arms. Better comes standard.
Hi folks, welcome to this week's episode of Bushnell's Trigger Effect. And do we ever have a treat in store for you? We're going to be stepping a little bit out of the norm. We're going to start this episode off, we're going to be doing a little bit of fishing. We're going after a species called the Dorado, which physiologically looks like a salmonid. However, their appearance is very much something different. But I know, Kent, you're excited about the second half.
Yes, you bet. Our second half of our episode, you're going to watch me chase some axis deer here in the thick thorn brush of Argentina. And I tell you what, axis deer has been on my bucket list for a long time. They've got some tremendous trophies down here. Gustavo from Patagonia Hunters has this all lined up for us. So I can't wait to get the fishing over with, get into some axis deer hunting. So stay tuned and stick with us. So what are we doing this morning, Gustavo?
Good morning. How are you?
Really good.
Really good. Well,
We're recovering from 20, or what did we figure it was? 48 or 36 hours of traveling?
Yeah.
And now we're doing some fishing.
Heading out to do some fishing.
we will try some Dorado.
Dorado.
After a beautiful drive through the Corrientes province of Argentina, we arrived at the city of Monte Casero. The area we'll be fishing is literally at the cross borders of Brazil, Argentina, and Uruguay. We'll mainly be fishing on the Uruguay River, however we'll also do a small tour up the Rio Mirene. Our target species is the golden Dorado, but if we're extremely lucky we'll catch the elusive Cerubi catfish.
After a quick game of rock, paper, scissors, it was determined that our pro staff Tegan Kit was up to bat first, then myself, and finally Dean. However, not before enjoying a traditional Argentine custom of sharing a mate. I don't know why the mate tastes better here. I make at home, but it doesn't.
No.
It might be the type I bought.
I just got a fish on. This is awesome. He's a bit of a fighter.
So, you need to tie it.
Yeah.
Good for you, Tina.
Nice.
The Portuguese word dorado and the Spanish word dorado both mean golden and is applied to the fish due to its color displaying golden reflections. The golden dorado has a large head with powerful jaws filled with sharp teeth and is highly sought after by anglers both for its appreciated meat and its fighting ability. Although it has an adipose fin and the scientific name of salminus, it is not related to salmon but actually closer related to the piranha.
bueno.
That was Kent's magic touch. Oh my gosh! This is awesome!
So,
All right.
oh,
Nice.
Yeah, this is fantastic. The color of him. Ramon got us on a good spot. Yeah.
Awesome, dude. Congrats.
This segment is brought to you by Westside Stores, your outdoor sports authority, and Safari Club International Canada, first for hunters.
Here we go. Big Dorado. Got a good fish on right now. Pulling pretty good. Hopefully it's another big Dorado. You got it?
no,
Oh, lost it.
largó. Pero no es nada.
Gone. There we go.
Ahora sí.
Oh, he's a fighter. He is a fighter.
Muy buena.
Coming out of the
Ahí
water.
sí.
This is awesome. Down here on the borders of Argentina and Brazil, catching Dorado. Not as big as Tegan's. Nice fish. Look at that. Look at that. Nice adipose fin, black dot on the tail. Awesome. Thank you.
Muy buena.
Muy bueno. Well, that was kind of a quick release. He wanted back in the river a lot faster than I could get him down in there, but that's awesome. This is great fishing here on the Uruguay River. It's huge river, water's warm, lots of fish. We're having a ball here. This is awesome.
Well, I'll tell you, we've had one heck of a day so far. I've watched Tegan pull in a beautiful Dorado. Kent just got one as well too, so I'm up to bat. But I think one of the things we're hearing from Gustavo and Mancho is that this is not the normal. Normally you fish all day and you maybe land one of these fish. Whereas, you know, we've captured two. We actually had one get off already. And I mean, we can't complain. It must be Canadian luck, hey? It's gotta be Canadian luck.
Good for you, my friends.
So this is really cool. We've been fishing the Uruguay River, which the headwaters is up in Brazil, and so it's very silt laden. But we're now going into Muncho's favorite river to fish, and he said the name and I don't remember it, but it's very clear, and it's because of a sand bottom versus a dirt bottom, and so as a result of that, we're literally going over it right now, and behind you can see it's all muddy water, and then here it's kind of clearer, more blue water. But what an incredible thing. Well, we had an amazing morning of fishing. We stopped downstream, or downriver, I guess you would say, and we had a swim and everything like that. And then we came up here and we beached the boat. We just had an absolutely incredible Argentina meal. We had fresh bread. We had 3 different types of meats, including a pork roast that was barbecued over the barbecue last night. I mean, absolutely incredible. We're going to head back out onto the water and see if maybe I can hook up with a fish, since Tegan and Kent did so good. But anyways, boys, we're almost done. We're going to head out.
Well, despite putting in a gallant effort after our shore lunch and swim, I never did connect with my Dorado in Argentina. Well, I never did catch one. However, we all got the pleasure of eating the delicate meat of this amazing fish later on that evening. To make it even better, it was cooked in a traditional Argentinian style over an open fire. The Dorado was complemented with homemade enchiladas, open-faced potatoes, and of course, we enjoyed it with good friends.
left early the next morning after a great day of fishing in the Corrientes province. After 3 to 4 hours of travel, we finally arrived at Axis Sauce, where I would be spending the next few days pursuing my elusive axis deer stag. The area we'd be hunting is a remote ranch in some of the densest habitat Argentina has to offer. However, it's also populated with some of the best axis deer it has to offer as well. Well, folks, we're pretty excited to be down here in Argentina with Patagonia Hunters. Our good friend Gustavo's got us set up. We're going to be going out axis deer hunting today, and we've got a great little location here. Apparently there's lots of big axis deer here, so we're just meeting up with the other guide that's going to be helping us out. We're going to be heading out in the field here right away, so you're not going to want to miss this action. So we're walking from here? Right?
Yeah, we will walk from here. We will looking for the wind. We will walk in that direction.
The deer are most likely going to be looking for shade and cover. They've been out feeding earlier, but we'll hopefully catch some still out in the open. Well, I'm taking a little break from the heat here on my axis deer hunt in Argentina. It's so cool that we get to travel around the world and hunt these unique species, meet some great people from different parts of the world. There can be difficulties though. We can run into language problems. You know, the guides mostly speak Spanish. Dean and I, we only speak English, so there is a little bit of difficulty there. But you know what? It makes me think back to the times when I was in university and doing a little bit of biology work. There is a common language that we use around the world, and it's science-based. It's scientific names of all the animals, and I think this is a great topic for Conservation Connection.
So the difference between a scientific name and a common name, I get this question quite often from my students. Why do they need to understand scientific names? Well, often these names are inappropriate. For example, here in Alberta we have the pronghorn species, which a lot of people just call antelope. And they're not related to antelope of Africa at all. They're actually in their own particular family.
The scientific naming system has 7 different categories, starting at kingdom at the top, going down to species at the bottom. Now, commonly throughout the world, scientists and biologists only use genus, species, and sometimes subspecies.
This is an axis deer episode, and if we talk about axis deer, they have a variety of different names throughout the world as well, which we call colloquial names. They could be called spotted deer, variegated deer, just a variety of different names. So they've also been introduced all over the world. So if you have a researcher, say in South America versus one in Hawaii versus one in Texas studying this deer, they need to know they're comparing apples and apples.
As you can tell, common names can be a little bit confusing. Down here in Argentina, what we call axis deer, they have a totally different Spanish name for them. So one thing I suggest is before you go on an international trip, maybe learn some of the scientific names for these animals you're going to be hunting, and it just might break the language barrier.
So for the axis deer, their scientific name is actually Axis axis, which is called a tautonomous name where both the genus and species repeats itself. The one thing is, it doesn't matter if it's a spotted deer or a variegated deer or a cheetal, all these names that they go under, Axis axis is always talking about that one particular animal.
Well, we're back out here in this great country going after axis deer. We had a bit of rain last night, so it's gotten everything a little bit slippery and slick, but it's going to be a good day. It's starting to break up. The sun's going to be peeking up over the trees here in a minute, so we're going to get out, see if we can't find some axis deer, hopefully get a shot at one. Looks like we're We're heading in a little bit further than we were yesterday for some axis deer. We just heard one barking off to the south of us here. The road is muddy after that rain, sticking to the boots, so I gotta catch up to the guides. We've got axis deer all around us right now, crisscrossing. We're gonna try and get in position.
This segment is brought to you by Gold Tip. Start tough, stay true. Taxidermy services provided by Hunters Union and Ray Weens Taxidermy. And thanks to these other fine sponsors.
As we moved down the track, we suddenly noticed a small herd of axis deer migrating from right to left. We're going to move in a little closer to where they're crossing. Hopefully a buck will come through. Well, we can hear axis deer just off to our right. They sound like they're coming closer to this cleared out area. So we're just settling in, hoping a herd will cross. And if they do, hopefully there's a good buck in that group and we'll get a shot at them. So we're just playing the patience game this morning. I think I just center punched a really good stag. Yeah. The shot sounded good. It hit. He jumped. I think I got him right in the boiler room. Oh, muy grande. Look at that. Oh. Gracias. Gracias. Good for you. It's a beautiful animal. Beautiful. Perfect shot. Yes. Oh. That is gorgeous. Let me make this gun safe. Wow, what a spectacular looking animal. Gustavo, thank you so much. I mean, Patagonia hunters, you've got it going on. They've got great axis deer. We had a really good evening yesterday. We got onto some axis deer, just didn't make it happen. And this morning after the storm, away it went.
Yeah, of course. It will be a good morning.
Yeah, with the weather change, and you said that they'll move from one side to the other to go to thicker cover early morning.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, you nailed it. I mean, we come down this track line here. It was a clearing through the trees, and we could hear them all around us. It was great. I mean, we had axis deer everywhere.
Yeah.
And you said they should cross right here, so it was great. I want to thank you so much, Gustavo.
Well,
I mean, this is a beautiful, beautiful animal. Great antlers, beautiful hide, going to make a spectacular trophy, and they're fantastic eating too. So thank you again, my friend.
You're very welcome.
We'll get this wrapped up.
Okay.
Being an avid whitetail hunter back home in Canada, I have to admit that the axis deer here in Argentina are one elusive animal. As we load my buck into the back of the pickup, I once again realized just how blessed I am to be able to take one of these amazing creatures back home to Canada with me.
Well, Kent, I gotta tell you, those Dorado were something else. I mean, first of all, they're an absolutely stunning fish, and I want to put out a huge congratulations to Tegan. Hers was a crusher Dorado. Congrats to yourself for getting a nice one. And I have to admit, I'm a little bit jealous I didn't get to haul in one of those bad boys. But I mean, the one thing I do want to say is congratulations on your access, buddy.
Yes, I mean, the fishing was great, but I love the axis deer hunting. They're such a challenge. They live in that shadow country. They're very, very elusive. And I tell you what, we harvested a beautiful buck. I am so happy. Stunning colors, stunning countryside, tough hunt, but well worth it. I couldn't be happier. Got to give a big thanks out to Gustavo. He put us on a great ranch, and I couldn't be happier.
No, and again, congratulations.
Yeah.
Stunning animal. But folks, we'd really like to thank you for watching our show. We'd especially like to thank our sponsors for allowing us to do what we love. And make sure you join us next week for another exciting episode of Bushnell's Trigger Effect.